Hey everyone, so yesterday we got some massive leaks from 4chan about Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch. Now, this leak on 4chan um, claims to have the titles for Pokemon Switch, and these titles are Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Now, I know that those titles sound absolutely ridiculous, but allow me to explain. So, on April 1st, so on April Fool's Day, this poster on 4chan posted a bunch of stuff about Pokemon Switch. Now, most people dismissed the idea until he reposted, he or she, I don't know, but they reposted the titles and the artwork, which to me honestly looks fan made, about the Pokemon Switch titles. And it's Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Now, the reason why this picked up traction is because previously a sort of reputable source, Emily Rogers, she was really on point with the NX reveals, leaks, I mean, and she's considered more credible than many other inside sources, if you can say. But she said previously that people will be raising eyebrows with the new Pokemon Switch titles, which this definitely is raising a bunch of eyebrows. But what gives this even more credibility is the fact that Masuda himself has been posting so many things on Twitter related to Pikachu and Eevee. So he has been doing this and no one's really taken any attention to it until right now. And the sources that have been making leaks apparently have inside information. They've all seemed to agree so far that yes, these are the titles for the new Switch game. On top of that, just this morning, I got this off of Nintendo Life. There has been domains filed for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.com. So it's definitely something, and most likely it is the new titles for the Nintendo Switch game. Moreover, if you remember the leaks from a couple of months ago, the one with where a trainer is on a Lapras that looks like the route going to Pallet Town in Kanto. If you look really closely, the Pokemon on the top of the trainer's head is an Eevee. Now, that pretty much, like, no one has debunked this leak so far. So, most likely, this is an actual leak from the game. Now, this is crazy, and this has a lot of people actually angry at the game because this poster of this image, when he made his original post, he said a bunch of things that are going to be in this game. For example, this is going to be a Pokemon Yellow remake, which I think makes sense because they want all those older generations of people who have kind of stopped playing Pokemon to come back in. So kind of like a nostalgia effect. And I also think it's kind of too early for a new region because new regions typically take longer to basically develop. And from what we know so far, they've only been developing it since 2016. So that's why that leak previously kind of looks like Sun and Moon graphics, which I wouldn't be surprised about because those are pretty high-end graphics. Like if you put it on Citra and put it to high resolution, the graphics for Sun and Moon are actually really high. They're really high quality. It's just the 3DS couldn't handle that resolution. Sorry about that. The resolution. So I honestly believe that the Switch title will be just those enhanced graphics, which would make sense. And they're putting Pokemon Yellow for the nostalgia effect, and also to bring in because it's so iconic. Like Generation One, even non-Pokemon fans, they know Pikachu, they know Eevee, they know Charizard, Bulbasaur, uh, you know, even the starters, right? Like Squirtle, Charmander, and even Venusaur. He's not the third evolution, but I said Bulbasaur last night. But whatever. But what is getting people upset is that he said this game will feature certain aspects of Pokemon Go. Now, I can totally see why people are upset about this. And I am definitely a little worried about this because Pokemon Go, I think it's a great spin-off game, right? It's a great game if you're going to go out, you're going to catch Pokemon, and it's great for people who haven't really played Pokemon for a long time and are just coming back. They're really excited, and they go out and catch a bunch of Pokemon, right? But I believe it doesn't, and a lot of other people believe this too, it doesn't represent what the Pokemon games are meant to be. Yes, catching is definitely one of them, but so is battling and so is training. So let's, and as well as trading. So let's take those one at a time, right? So let's say battling, right? Pokemon Go battling, I think, is a really bad system. Um, I don't like it. If that's what they meant by a new battling system, I don't think people will be happy about that, and I don't think that's gonna happen. What I do think is likely, however, they might put some aspects of Pokemon Go in terms of how you capture the game, because that's basically the essence of the mobile app itself. This can be either good or bad, so allow me to explain the bad before going to the good, because I think the good will actually make this game a lot better. Now, in terms of the bad, what it can be is basically you battle the Pokemon like normal, right? And then to capture it, you use some motion control and you just flip the controller up. Or maybe when it's in handheld mode, you even swipe the screen, which I think would be a terrible. But if that's the case, that could very well likely happen. That could be an option. But knowing Nintendo, they usually make motion controls and stuff default. But that could be an option. And I don't know how I feel about that. As long as you can turn that off, I would be fine. But that's like a great first time thing. But like, can you imagine like a Master Ball? You get like one in the game, and then you throw the Master Ball and you miss. That's kind of, oh wow. Like, they're always trying to make the game more accessible. That's really gonna piss some people off. But the second part, which I think is really exciting and would be great for the game, is if you look at that leak from a couple of months ago with the screenshot, that really blurry screenshot, you can see Pokemon on the ocean just floating around. So they can actually probably get rid of random encounters. What can happen instead is you go around and you encounter the Pokemon itself. Kind of like the real game, kind of like in Pokemon Go. The Pokemon are just there, you go up to it and you interact. Now the thing, if they do this, I can see how it can work, especially in the ocean. Like, you have Pokemon floating around, right? And they don't have to be there the whole time. The way they make encounter rates, you know how some Pokemon appear a lot more than others? They can pop up more, maybe they stay in the surface longer. You know what I mean? And as you travel around, the Pokemon aren't just going to be stationary. They're going to dip down, new Pokemon are going to come up, and maybe they even come up directly under you and get a random encounter, right? Um, in the tall grass, the Pokemon can get up from the grass. Maybe some of them are a lot rarer, so you have to sneak up. If you remember in ORAS, they had the function where you sneak up on Pokemon, which I thought was amazing. I'm really upset that, I'm not upset. I knew they were going to bring that back, but I thought that was a really great feature. Maybe that can come back. I think that's great. Um, if that's how encounters are going to work, I think that's a step up for Pokemon, because although I do think random encounters are a big part of the game, it's also very grindy and it keeps a lot of older players like away. And like back in the day, you kind of needed random encounters to level up, because EXP Share only trained one Pokemon at a time, so you wanted random encounters. But now EXP Share, it trains everything. Like, you put it on your first Pokemon, you don't even have to battle the other Pokemon at all, and they just kind of level up. So like the whole like reason for random encounters, I think, is pretty much in the past. If this is how the Pokemon games are headed with the random encounters being gone, and the Pokemon are just out there in the natural world and you just go and interact with them, I think that's a great step up. What I don't want them to take from Pokemon Go is the battle system, because I think that's just bad in general. The whole throwing Pokeball thing, if they include that better be like an option you can turn off, because if that's the default option, that's really annoying, and a lot of people are gonna get pissed off at that. And you know, since it's Pokemon Yellow remake, you're definitely gonna have Pokemon follow you around. Like, if you look at the trainer, she has the, or she, I can't even tell by the picture, it's so blurry, has the Eevee on his or her head. So that's definitely gonna be an option. What I am curious though is, why did they choose Eevee? Like, I understand Pikachu because it's a Yellow remake, but why Eevee? Eevee has like so many evolutions, and then like Yellow, Pikachu didn't evolve. I know, because that was my first game and I tried to give him like a Thunderstone and he just wouldn't evolve. But he refuses to evolve. So And I don't know why you would want an Eevee though, because Pikachu is a good Pokemon by himself. Well, back in the day. Maybe they might change it now. But Eevee has like so many evolutions. He has what? Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon. Then they added Umbreon and Espeon, right? So that's 5. And then they added Leafeon and Glaceon. And then they added Sylveon. That's 8 evolutions for Eevee, and that's assuming they don't. I don't think they're gonna add any more. Maybe in the new region, but yeah. But that's pretty much it for this leak, guys. If it is true, there are definitely some things to be excited about, but also a lot of things kind of to be concerned about, because what I really fear about this game is that it turns off to be sort of like a spin-off game. I really hope that's not it. There are definitely some good aspects you can add to this game. And also remember that this game, we haven't seen anything yet. People have just leaked the titles, which honestly, I do not like the titles. They sound too much like Pokemon Go, and that might turn a lot of people off. But forget it. Forgetting the title, I think if we see the game, this can be a really good game. I just hope they don't take the wrong aspects of Pokemon Go and implement it into the game. We know they're going to put something from Pokemon Go in it, and I hope it's the overworld encounter. I don't think it's going to be walking around the real world to capture Pokemon, because the Switch does not have GPS, so that cannot work. Maybe they can tie the app in, which I guess we're going to have to see how that works. But assuming this is it, we're probably going to get the reveal very soon, because now Game Freak, they pretty much know everybody knows, and they might as well just say, hey, you know what, this is how the game looks like, which might happen, or maybe we haven't seen everything yet, you know what I mean? This is just a snippet of the game, and they might wait until E3. But that's it for this video, guys. I'm sorry it took so long for this video, but I had a lot of thoughts here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.